Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Krishna
Krishna,
Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare चलसि यद्व्रजाक्षारयन् पशून् नलिनसुन्दरम् नातते पदम् श्रीलतीनाङ्कुरे सीदतीतिना कलिलतामना कान्तगच्छति दीनपरीक्षये नीलकुन्तले वनरुहाननम् बिभ्रदावृतम् घनरजस्वलम् दर्शयन्मुहुः मनसि न स्मरन् वीरयचसि प्रणतकामदम् पद्मजार्चितम् धरणिमण्डनम् ध्येयमापदि चरणपङ्कजम् शन्तमं च ते रमणनास्तनेष् अर्पयादिहन् सुरतवर्धनम् शोकनाशनम् स्वरितवेणुना सुष्ठुचुम्बितम् इतररागवे स्मरणं नृणाम् वितरवीरनास्ते धरामृतम् अतति यद्भवान् आनिकाननम् त्रुटियुगायते त्वामपश्यताम् कुटिलकुन्तलम् श्रीमुखं च ते जडौदीक्षतां पक्ष्मकृदृशाम् पतिसुतान्वया भ्रातृबान्धवान् अतिविलङ्घ्यते यच्युतागता गतिविदस्तवो गीतमोहिता कितवयोषिता कस्त्यचेन्निशि रहसि संविदम् पृच्छयोदयम् प्रहसिताननम् प्रेमवीक्षणम् बृहदुराश्रियो वीक्ष्य धाम ते मुहुरति स्पृहा मुह्यते मना व्रजवनौकसां व्यक्तिरङ्गते ऋजिनहन्त्र्यलं विश्वमङ्गलम् त्यजमनाक्षणा स्पृहात्मना स्वजनहृदृजां यन्निषूदनम् यत्ते सुजाता चरणाम्बुरुहं स्तनेषु भीताशनैः प्रिया दधीमहि कर्कशेषु तेनात्वतीमतसि तद्व्यततेन किं स्वेत् कूर्पदिभिर्ब्रह्मतिथिर्भवदायुषां नः. Hare Krishna everyone, welcome to Damodara Daily Delights. We are on day 27 and today we have, again I don't remember, let's see who's the singer today. It is Karthik. Karthik is going to sing the Damodara Ashtakam. I'm going to find Karthik. Karthik, go ahead and start singing while I spotlight you.
Okay. Hare Krishna, my name is Karthik. I'm in 7th grade and I attend the 6th to 8th grade Bhagavad Gita classes and my teachers are Anna Mataji and Santoshi Mahanti. Namamishwaram Sachidanandarupa Lasat Kundalam Gokule Rajamanam Yashoda Piyolukala Param Veshtamadyantato Dhrutya Gopya Rudanta Muhunetra Yugmam Rajantam Karam Bojayugnena Santakanetram Muhushvasakam Patririkam Kakanta Sita Grevam Damodaram Bhakti Badam Iti Driksvalila Birananda Kunde Swagosham Nimajyantam Akhyapayantam Tadisagnishu Bhakte Jitatvam Puna Prematastam Sata Jitivande Varam Deva Moksham Na Mokshavadimva Nachanyam Vineham Verisadapiha Idam Deva Purnata Gopala Balam Sada Me Manasya Virastam Kimanye Idam Te Mukam Bojam Atyantanile Vitam Kuntalai Snigdharataisya Gopya Muhushchumbitam Bimbaratadaram Me Manasya Virastam Malam Lakshalabai Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabodhuka Jalabhimagnam Kripa Drishti Drishyati Dinam Batano Grihane Shamamagnyam Nidiyakshi Drishya Kuberatmajau Bada Mutyai Vayadvai Swaya Mochitau Bhakti Bajau Kritau Cha Tata Prema Bhakti Swakame Prayacha Namokshe Graho Me Siddhamodareha Namaste Sudamne Suradipti Damne Twadiyodharayata Vishwasya Damne Namo Radhikayai Twadiya Priyayai Namo Nantalilaya Devaya Tubhyam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Kartik. Very nice. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you for singing with nice melody and nice pronunciation. Good job.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. We'll now move on to the presenter of today's pastime, and it is Shreyas. Hey Shreyas, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Oh, nice.
Hey, go ahead and get started with your section. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Are you looking for permission to share? You have the permission. You have a PowerPoint, Mataji, for him to share?
Yes.
Okay. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Go ahead.
Can you see my screen? Yes. Can everybody see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Hare Krishna, everybody. My name is Shreyas. I'm in 3rd grade. I go to Dave's Creek Elementary School. Today I will be saying the pastime of the killing of Aristasura. There was a huge bull demon named Aristasura. The demon was as big and as strong as a mountain. He had big, sharp horns and roared loudly. He was so big that a huge dark cloud was floating right over him. Aristasura always looked very, very angry. Kamsa called the demon Aristasura and ordered him to kill the blue angel of death of Vrindavan. When Aristasura walked into Vrindavana one day, the ground rumbled and shook. The animals and cows were so afraid of him, they all ran as fast as they could. Everyone in Vrindavana began to cry, Krishna, Krishna, please save us from this terrible demon. Krishna smiled and told them, do not be afraid, do not be afraid. As we all know, Krishna is a protector of his devotees and always the best well-wisher of everyone. Then he said, Aristasura, if you have come to see me, I will fight you. The angry bull looked straight at Krishna and galloped towards him. His angry red eyes were moving back and forth. Pointing his horns at Krishna, he ran as fast as a thunderbolt of Indra. Krishna caught Aristasura's horns and threw him far away. The angry demon was sweating and tired, but still he rushed towards Krishna. Krishna caught his horn again and threw him so hard that Aristasura came crashing down and his horns broke off. The bad bull was bleeding, his eyes popped out, and he finally died. The people of Vrindavana were so happy to see the wonderful way Krishna killed the terrible demon. From the sky, demigods showered flowers on amazing Krishna. Moral of the Leela is anger is the cause of all miseries. One should know how to control it, unlike Aristasura, and always think about Krishna like the people in Vrindavan. Hare Krishna.
Very nice, Shreyas. I like when you said, Krishna said, don't be afraid, I will protect you. That's really nice. That's how we should always remember of Krishna too, that whenever we're scared, whenever we're worried, we should remember what Krishna says in this pastime. Don't be afraid, don't be afraid. So very sweet. Thank you for this pastime.
And thank you, Mataji.
Thank you. To stop sharing, beta. Okay. Now we'll move on to the next part. We will be doing the continuation of Navavidha Bhakti. We already did how many so far? I think 6, right? Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, and Vandanam, which we did yesterday. Vandanam was to offer prayers. The example for each of these, let's do. I don't think we did the examples of devotees who perfected their life through these Navavidha Bhakti. So for Shravanam, this Parikshit Maharaj, of course, there are many other devotees who have perfected their life by listening attentively. So it's Parikshit Maharaj who we can remember very closely because of the detailed Bhagavatam that we study after Bhagavad Gita, especially for those who are interested in scriptural knowledge and in studying about what Krishna said and about Krishna's pastimes. The sequence is first we read Bhagavad Gita, then we read Srimad Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam happened in the context of Parikshit Maharaj. So Parikshit Maharaj is given as an example who perfected his life by attentive hearing to Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, he is remembered for Shravanam. The second one is Kirtanam. And who is remembered for Kirtanam? It is Shukadeva Goswami. Shukadeva Goswami narrated the pastimes of Srimad Bhagavatam, the entire Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. Therefore, he is remembered for Kirtanam. Then for Smaranam. Who is remembered for Smaranam? Who was the devotee who's very young boy who always remembered Krishna, who always remembered Hari, despite his father subjecting him to so many atrocities. Anybody here can raise their Zoom hand, please, and tell me? That is for Smaranam. Yes, Akash. Prahalad. Awesome. Very good. Good job. So for Smaranam, it is Prahalad. Then we have Padasevanam. For Padasevanam, who is the example? What is Padasevanam? Does anybody know? Raise your Zoom hand, please. Don't speak up just like that. Raise your Zoom hand and I'll call out your name. Shravan and Satvik, please tell what is the meaning of Padasevanam and who's the example of Padasevanam? Who is example of one who's doing Padasevanam constantly? Okay, Shravan's hand has gone down. The example that's given is goddess Lakshmi Devi. Lakshmi Devi is always at the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu and doing the service to the feet of Lord Vishnu. That's for Padasevanam. Then comes Archanam. Who's given for Archanam? Who's doing elaborate, nice worship? Ambarish Maharaj. I think it's Ambarish Maharaj. However, Ambarish Maharaj has perfected in several of the Navavidha Bhaktis. So we can also give Ambarish Maharaj in the Archanam example. Yes, Dhruti, you had your hand raised. Yes, you can give another example if you have. Dhruti, Prajit.
Raghunandan.
What is it?
Raghunandan.
Raghunandan. Yes, Raghunandan was the son of, what was the father's name? Who offered the nice
Bhojan.
Bhoga to Lord Krishna, made sure that he comes and eats. Yes, Raghunandan is the example that we heard. And then next one that we did was, yesterday, what did we do? Vandanam. Vandanam is prayers, right? Prayers of glorifying the Lord, prayers of um, the mood of servitude, where you list all your shortcomings, and in the feeling of, in the mood of helplessness, we ask the Lord so many desires to be fulfilled, right? And one such intense prayer was offered by Akrura. For Vandanam, Akrura is remembered as the example. And Akrura, while he had come to take Krishna and Balaram to Mathura from Vrindavan, because Kamsa had sent an invitation to bring Krishna and Balaram to have a wrestling fight, right? So Akrura was taking them on the chariot to Mathura, and on the way, Akrura was very, very worried for Lord Krishna, because he knew that he was taking Lord Krishna and Balaram, the young boys, to fight with Kamsa. So he was very worried, and he was very deeply praying for their welfare. So he is remembered as a character or the devotee who perfected his life through Vandanam. And today's Anga is going to be, or today's Navavidha Bhakti, one of the items is going to be Dasyam. Dasyam in English is mood of servitude or a servant mood. And for Dasyam, the read. Anybody has to speak? Anybody wants to speak? I'm hearing some background noise. I don't know if anybody has questions. Okay. So for Dasyam, the example, can anybody guess who's the example of Dasyam based on your knowledge? Yes, Raghava?
Well, wait, Dasya means serving, like serving. So Hanuman, probably like.
Excellent. Hanuman is a very good example. And then even when Lord Ramachandra appeared, his brothers Bharata and Lakshmana also had that mood of servants towards Lord Rama. Remember how Bharata carries the slippers of Lord Ramachandra and rules the entire kingdom in the mood of a servant on behalf of Lord Rama. So even Bharata can be remembered, and also Lakshmana, how he accompanied Mother Sita and Lord Rama to the forest and was always at their service. Servitude means service, being willing to serve with love and devotion. It's not out of hatred, or it's not of, oh, I have to do, right? It should not be like, I have to do. It should be like, I want to do. And the mood of servitude or mood of service is that when an opportunity for service is given, that person is excited and he is thinking he's so blessed to get that opportunity. He feels like, I get to do it rather than I have to do it. So that is the real mood of service. That means service cannot happen without humility, right? And that's why it's told that anybody who wants to be successful, and success in Sanskrit is defined as Vijay. Vijayi is one who is Vinayi. Vinayi meaning he is humble and having the mood of servitude. A real winner is one who is servant of Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Because we all are serving someone or the other in our life, that we're serving our boss, or we're serving, I mean, I'm not talking about kids. Kids are usually not, I mean, kids also help mom and dad and also do some little chores of service. But once we grow up as adults, we're always serving someone or the other. And if someone thinks, I don't have to serve anyone because I don't work for anyone, that person is at least serving his or her senses, meaning they are getting carried away by their senses. So the best position to be for a servant is to be the servant of Lord Sri Krishna, because if we are servant of our senses, then it is a sign of degradation. Today we were discussing in the middle school class as to how we should engage our senses not for gratification, meaning not for our enjoyment, but for purification. And purification cannot happen without the mood of service toward Lord Sri Krishna. As to how Hanuman constantly was at the service of Lord Sri Krishna, of Lord Ramachandra. And true servant is one who always knows what their master needs, even before the master tells them, right? It's not like they're waiting or only when the master tells them they work. A true servant is one who always can know based on their love toward that person. Only when you love somebody, only when you really want to do something that they like, you're always thinking about what they what they like, and therefore you plan ahead rather than waiting for them to tell you to serve you or do something. So that is the sign of true devotion. Like how Hanuman, when he had gone to find Mother Sita, right? How he was very intensely searching for Mother Sita, and when he had no hopes of finding her, he was about to give up his life, thinking that he doesn't want to go back without the news of finding Mother Sita. At that point, Mother Sita was found, and then with extreme happiness, he goes and gives his identity to Mother Sita, and then thereby comes back to Lord Ramachandra carrying that information. So that is the mood of service. Now, all the other angas that we studied till now, like Kirtanam, Shravanam, Smaranam, all these cannot happen without the mode of service or without the dasya bhava in that. Because let's just think about how Kirtanam means what? Singing the glories of the Lord or speaking about the Lord or taking names of the Lord. Now, if just Kirtanam without the mood of service or servitude is true Kirtanam, then even Kamsa was always thinking about the Lord. He was always thinking about, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Go find him. He would constantly send these demons to find Krishna and is always uttering the name of Krishna. However, his mood was not in the mood of service or servitude or out of love. Even Hiranyakashipu, he always constantly thinking about Hari, Hari, Hari. Even in his dream, he would think about Hari. Even when his son would talk about anything, and then when son would tell about Hari, he would repeat and tell him, where is your Hari? Where can you find your Hari? So he would utter or take Lord Hari's name so many times. However, there is a difference between how Hiranyakashipu and Kamsa took the names of the Lord, as opposed to how true devotees like Prahalad or many other devotees, right? They took the names of the Lord. So all the other angas have to be accompanied by the mood of servitude. Without the mood of servitude, as I said, there is no benefit. There is true benefit comes when we are taking the role models of how Prahalad and how all the devotees have thought about the Lord. And then we have the example of Parikshit. We all know Parikshit, right? We took the example of Parikshit for Shravanam, right? And Parikshit Maharaj also, though he was a great king, right? He was never ever having any type of ego or any type of arrogancy. However, one day while he was hunting and he was very thirsty, he enters the ashram of a sage, and when he didn't get response from the sage, he puts a dead snake around the sage, which is very, very, what you call, not the appropriate behavior toward respectful sage. And because of that, as soon as he does that, he walks out of the hermitage, and then he starts realizing his mistake, and he thinks, oh, what did I do? I did such a big mistake. I shouldn't have done that. It's such disrespectful action. And therefore, he immediately is seeking for punishment. Meanwhile, the sage's son, Shringi, he curses this Parikshit Maharaj, saying that this person is going to die in 7 days by the bite of a snake, right? That's the curse he gives. And Parikshit Maharaj, when he becomes aware of this curse, he becomes very happy. He thinks, for the mistake that I did, I was actually regretting, and I was so worried that I performed such a big mistake. And now this news has come as a mercy upon me, as a punishment, or as a reward for the mistake that I did. I mean, he shouldn't have done that mistake. So he thinks this is what I deserve for the mistake I did. That was the mood. So therefore, he goes and sits on the bank of Ganga and starts waiting there, thinking that at this point, all I'm going to do is wait and listen only to the glories of Lord Shri Krishna. So the point here is, though Parikshit Maharaj was such a great king and he had never performed any mistakes in his life. Why? Because he was not an ordinary king. He had the darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in the womb of his mother, unlike no one else, right? So he's special, and he cannot ever make mistakes. However, he made this mistake again. Also, it is said in the Shastra that Parikshit Maharaj did not intentionally do that mistake. It was an arrangement by the supreme will of the Lord, so that the eventual pastime can happen. So this mistake that Parikshit Maharaj, who happened to make, for that, he wants to atone it by the punishment that comes his way in a mood of service. He was not angry. He was not trying to revolt against that curse that had come his way. He took it as a grace upon him. He took it as something that he deserves. And then he accepted that and then sat down in the bank of Ganga in the mood of service, in the mood of servitude, to wait for Shukadeva Goswami to arrive there and listen to Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is a depiction of how one's mood should be. Now, we all children get upset when things don't go our way or when parents try to correct us. But we as children have to be in the mood of servitude toward our parents, our teachers, because we have to trust, we have to believe, and we have to agree to the fact that all these people in our life are telling things because they are good for us. Even if you don't like it, if you understand that the people around us, the elders, the parents, the teachers, whatever they are telling is for your good, and if you trust, then sometimes when you don't like to, you accept it and you do it. And that is the mode of service. That is the mode, because the best service every child here can do is to obey their parents, right? To obey the rules and regulations that they have put in the house. And again, you have to understand that those rules and regulations are for your own good. So what does it translate to all of you children when we talk about the anga or the limb of servitude or dasyam? It means we all children, I mean, you all children should have imbibed that quality of servitude, of service, and be respectful and obedient to your parents first, and then also, of course, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna. And that you demonstrate by learning the Bhagavad Gita verses, by doing chanting every day, and by also doing bhajans with your family once in a day. All right. On that note, I want to stop here. We will meet again tomorrow, same place, same time. Until then, you all have a wonderful Damodara conscious day. Till tomorrow, we have only 2 more days. And remember, this is part of Bhishma Panchaka. Very, very, very auspicious, power potent days, which we all have to, spiritual power potent days, which we all have to make the best of by chanting more, by learning Bhagavad Gita verses more. And maybe you all participating in Bingo Challenge also helps you become Krishna conscious. So those who are not participating in Bingo Challenge, so the least y'all can do is go to Gita Wise page and comment on the post that talks about Bingo Challenge. You don't have to make videos if you don't like audios. You all might say, oh, I don't like to put up videos. I don't like to share audios or pictures. But at least you can comment on Gita Wise page saying, oh, this is my favorite verse. This is what I remember when I think about Bhagavad Gita. Or this is when, whatever questions or whatever challenges are there in that bingo board or bingo card, right? So that's how you show your participation for all the effort that the team is putting and trying to make you all Krishna conscious and to help others also understand all the wonderful activities that we do through Gita Wise. Okay. Thank you all. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Hare. Thanks everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank you,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.